EB3, speaking of truth and love. I just come on for a few minutes to give you guys a word of encouragement. If you like this video and you want more content like it, like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share. So this morning I just wanted to talk about a little story. It's a little story time. It's about friendship. It's about loyalty. And I think every now and then we need to talk about these kind of things. So years ago, I met this lady at work, and we just became friends, quick friends. And as time went by, we were so close to, if she went out of town, she was married and I was married. But if she went out of town, then I would check on her house, make sure everything looks good over there, and she would do the same to me for me. I've never been a person that liked to go out and party and stuff like that, but um, the few times that I go to like a house party or something like that, we probably would meet at one of each other's house and ride out. We were just close. And like, I have this thing where most people that I know at work, I don't consider them friends, but at the time, I really considered her a friend, almost like a sister. We got pretty close, and for me, that's not a norm. I don't normally just click with people, so I value that friendship. So as time went by, I realized something was a little off. Um, I remember one time she told my husband that this guy was coming to my work area looking for me, talking, trying to talk to me and stuff like that. And I was like, that was odd because if you thought something was going on with me and that guy, maybe you should have said something to me, which it wasn't. It was an old friend that I've been knowing for years and years and years, and my husband already knew about it. But I just thought that was kind of odd. And so then there was always like these rumors about her and another friend that's a female, like these two females. The other friend, she was a single, but they hung out more than she and I did because they were friends longer. And that's just the way I took it. You know, we were all at the time we were all apprentices, but they had been in the apprenticeship program before I was, and so they pretty much came in the apprenticeship program together. And so for that reason, it never really dawned on me to think anything like that. But there were always rumors. As a matter of fact, when her and her husband separated, she moved in with this said friend, and of course the rumors really blew up. But me being the person I am, I took up for her. I was 10 toes down. Hey, this is my friend. Y'all not going to talk about her like that. She's just going through a hard time. And the other person's just being a friend. That she ain't never told me nothing about her being gay or whatever. And if they are, that's their personal business. But either way, stay out of it. I don't want to hear nothing about it. However, when people said different things about me, I found out that she was right there in the middle of the gossip. Yeah, it must be going on, you know. And so it bothered me because I know for me, I am probably too loyal. I mean, like, once I see that you're not my friend, once I see that you don't mean me no good, then as loyal as I am, I will cut you off. But But I didn't, for whatever reason, I didn't immediately cut her off like normally I would have. I did not immediately cut her off because, again, I wanted to give her a chance to explain herself, right? Um, but but the thing that just sent me in a whole nother headspace is, so when we first became friends, my house was a little block house, like a little starter house. I loved it because it was ours. Me, I'm this kind of person. Uh, whatever you have, especially if you have something that you have paid for, or you're paying for, is yours, your name on it, you own the mortgage, you and your spouse, or just you or whatever. Uh, I feel like that's a blessing. I know a lot of people like to rent, but because of my childhood, I don't like to rent, right? So for me, um, there's a phrase that's stuck with my mind a long time ago. A wise person told me this, and I felt like it was a wise thing. A cardboard box that belonged to you is better than a mansion that belonged to somebody else. So that's my that's the way I think of things, right? So if anybody have something of their own, I am happy for them, right? But now I'll be honest, her house she had was very nice, and I was always happy for her and her husband to have nice things. So eventually, when my husband and I started talking about having children, I was like, I don't know if this is the right neighborhood for us to be raising children. This was me. He was like, he felt like we could probably just, build onto the house. In which, again, it wasn't that I didn't like the house. It wasn't even that I didn't like the neighborhood as it was. I just saw that the neighborhood was changing. And so I was ready to bounce. If it was any kind of possibility I was going to have children and raising children in a certain environment, I was ready to bounce. So eventually he saw that I would be happier. This is just the way it was. Eventually he saw that I would be happier if we found somewhere else. And it didn't have to be like no extravagant place. I just felt like the neighborhood was not going in a direction. At least the part of the neighborhood that we were in was not going in the direction that I felt like I would want my children to be raised in. And so he was riding one weekend and he found a house. I was at work and he was out riding, just looking. And that's something we always did. We always looked and together. That was like an activity of ours. Go look and see how other people living. Sometimes sometimes it's like local, and sometimes it's like maybe the next couple towns over, or whatever. We would just get in the car and ride and say, uh, yeah, that was just a habit we did. So getting back to the story, we had started looking for houses. By the way, we had went to look for houses. I'm gonna come back and tell y'all the story about how some of my stories, some of my experiences with real estate people, because we went through some stuff trying to find a house. But anyway, eventually the house that we were living in, he found it. He found it. I was at work one Saturday, and he was out riding, and he found his house. And so, us being the way we are, we didn't tell anybody we were buying a house or we were even looking for a house. But when we found it, I loved it. He found it. I saw it. The first time I walked in it, I loved it. I just fell in love with that house, and to this day I still like it, even though I'm have to put some more work in it. But anyway, when she visited my house and I saw the look on her face, it was like disappointment. From that day to this day, she has never come back to my house. Um, and so that said a lot to me. I I felt like, okay, this person must be a little bit more jealous, or even if it's not jealous, she's not happy for me. Like I've always been happy for her, but now she's not happy for me. And and then whenever I got laid off, because after we bought the house, like 2 3 months later, I got laid off, and she was like, "Oh, what y'all gonna do now?" But sometimes it's not what a person say, it's how they say it. And that conversation didn't go well. We were on the phone, that conversation didn't go well. And so we just slowly just drifted away. Like eventually we just drifted away. The last time I talked to her, it just it just wasn't the same, and so we're not friends anymore. And again, that friendship, because I did accept her almost like a sister, or actually like a sister, it dragged on a whole lot longer than normally. Because normally, once I feel like a person's not loyal to me or they're being shady or something like that, I kind of drop them. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's what I do. I drop them. I'll pray from you and I love you from a distance. I don't hate you, but I can't have you in my space because, you know, we're not like that. I thought we were like that, but we're not. But anyway, I just wanted, what do you all think? Do you all think that I did the right thing? Did I overreact? Did I was I just being immature? Because I was younger back then. Was I just being immature? What are your thoughts about this situation? This is my thoughts. When you find out a person is not for you, it doesn't mean that you have to hate them. It doesn't mean that you have to mistreat them. To this day, if that lady called me and say she needs something, if I have it, I would probably help her because that's the kind of person I am. I would help her. But as far as her being in my space, as far as us being best friends or any of those, even being close associates, that's just not going to happen because I feel like if you are not loyal to me, um, you're not loyal. Once I feel like a person's not loyal, loyalty means a lot to me. Honesty means a lot to me. Like as friends, you can tell me if you feel like I'm wrong. I don't have a problem with that. As a matter of fact, I feel like as a friend, you should tell your friends when they're right or wrong. You should not uphold them in their negativity. You should not uphold them if they're doing something wrong. Now, do you have to stop being friends with them? No, but you tell them the truth and then you pray for them, right? Uh, and that's what I expect from my friends. I don't consider, again, I don't consider a lot of people friends. I consider most people associates. But my true friends, I'll say I have three true friends that have been my friends over 30 some years, right? And and they tell me sometimes, Alicia, you just that was you went off for no reason. You tripping. You need to back up. Or at least, saints don't act like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what friends are supposed to. Alicia, you're tripping, you know. You might need to go back and rethink that. You're not acting right. What's wrong with you? We need to pray. That's what I'm talking about. Friends. Not somebody that would talk behind your back. My friends, you can't say nothing negative to me about my friends. And it might be true, but I'm not gonna sit up here and talk to you about my friends. I'm not gonna sit up here and talk to you about my sister. No, we're not doing that. My brother. And we all have our issues, but I'm not gonna sit up here and gossip with you about what they're doing. Now I'll tell them and I'll make them mad at me, but hey, we gonna make back up because that's what we do. That's what you're supposed to do, right? But at the same time, we're not gonna talk about each other behind each other back. That's not it. Now, if we're friends, my two friends that they're pretty cool. So if they get together and they say certain things to each other about me, then I don't get mad about that because they probably just trying to figure out how they gonna approach me to tell me about something. So I don't get mad about that. I don't consider that disloyalty. Uh, what I consider is that this person's not for me, and you're gonna sit up here and talk negative about me to somebody that hasn't been for me from day one, and I thought you was for me. Oh, that's disloyalty, and I'm getting rid of that. Point blank. Period. We cannot be friends. We can be associates. If you need something, I'll still be there for you. But as far as us getting on the phone, as far as us going here or there, that's not gonna happen. As far as me getting in your car, you getting in mine, that's not gonna happen. Point blank. So anyway, if you think that that's the wrong attitude to take, and keep in mind, I am one of these people that believe that I'm supposed to forgive. For point blank, I'm supposed to forgive. But I'm also a person that believes that I can love you from a distance. That's the way I believe. I can love you from a distance. I can pray for you. I can root from you, root for you, want the best for you. But if I know for sure that you're gonna be in my presence and you have no good thoughts for me, I can't deal with that. Anyway, again, especially if you're a saint, tell me, drop in the comments, do you think that that's the right way to be? Um, and and I'll come back and address that. Anyway, this has been EV3, Speak the Truth in Love, be blessed, be a blessing, and I am out.